Here's how I manifested a retail shop in one of the most iconic retail locations in Australia. My name is Tegan Mel and I'm a magnetic mentor. I help women believe in themselves and use their energetics, manifestation, and essence to create a quantum leap into the reality that they're dreaming of. So here's my story on how I created and I manifested a retail shop in a space that is so hard to get a store on. And you see, that's what I was told. So I made a decision. It was about 2 years ago. I made a decision. I'd had a retail store before, and I made a decision that I was opening another shop. I'm going to open another shop, and I chose to open it in Burleigh, in the heart of Gold Coast, in one of the most popular tourist destinations in Australia. And I was like, yep, my shop's going to be right on this street. And so I went through one of the processes that I teach in my programs, and I set the intention solidly. So if you go through my programs, you get to experience that particular method, and just imagine that you did it. So I set it into my exact timeline, exactly where it's supposed to be, and I let it go. And it's like, all right, so I'm going to take some action towards this to get the momentum happening. And if you've ever done any of my stuff, you'll get why. And if you've done some manifestation stuff, you'll get why we take inspired action. So I started contacting real estate agents. I started calling them up. I literally had a whiteboard in front of me and I was writing down all the different real estate agents in the area. And I started calling them like, do you have retail stores? Do you look after retail stores? And I found 2 real estate agents that were willing to help me. And so I started being shown around, and both of them said to me, Tegan, this location is so unlikely you're going to get a spot. People don't leave this street. People stay here for 20 plus years. And I'm like, no, I've seen the shop. I'm getting the shop. I even saw it. I got a picture. I drew it out. And I had this visual of this beautiful long shop with a column in the middle, and it was quite wide. And so I knew what it looked like. I'd seen the vision. I felt what it felt like. And I'm like, I've got the shop. I know it's done. And they're like, yeah. And I remember going up and down the street with one of the agents, and he's like, what about this one? I'm like, what about that one? He's like, that one's not for rent. I'm like, why don't you just ask them? Can you send some emails around? And so I was giving them a bit of a nudge, and when even looked around different areas, nothing was transpiring. So if you've ever been so certain on a manifestation and you're like, I really want this to work, you'll recognize that it's so important to let go of the attachment of how it's going to transpire. So I kind of let go. And I remember I was working in a training room for a NLP training room, and I was assisting in there and I was supporting them. And I had a pop-up shop in there for my brand. And I was on a break, and I was scrolling through the real estate, as you do when you're looking for a shop, and I saw a pop-up shop location close by near the beach, no foot traffic whatsoever. But you know what? This will do for now until my shop pops up. So I called them, and it was one of the real estates that I've been speaking to. And I was like, hey, I'm really interested in this particular location, this pop-up shop. I'm looking for a retail shop. I'm interested in this until I find something. He goes, this Tegan? Yes. He goes, this Tegan Mel? Yes. So, I've been meaning to call you. I have a shop for you on that street. Like, what? And he goes, yeah, I was going to call you today. The moment I let go, the universe delivered. So I was like, can you send me some pictures? It's like, no, do you want it? Shops don't pop up like this very often. And I'm like, make a decision. In human design, I've got a sacral and emotional center. And I was like, oh, it feels like a yes. And I was like, oh, I'm just gonna wait a moment, make a decision. And I was like, all right, yes. And I put down a deposit on this place without, I knew how much it was, I knew the price, I hadn't seen it. I knew the location, hadn't seen the actual shop. So it's fine, I put down a deposit. And a few days later, I was able to go and look at the outside of the store. And I couldn't really see through because there were all these papers on the outside, like their signage. So I couldn't really see too much in. A week later, he walked me through, and there were lots of rooms built out into it. And the real estate explained to me that we could knock down this wall and knock down this wall. So we started the construction, and they knocked down some walls for us beforehand, the previous tenant, because they had built them up. And when I walked in that day, what did I see? A long shop with a pole in the middle. I kid you not. And that pole was not there before. It was blocked by the walls. I was like, what's going on with this pole? The real estate goes, that's a structural pole. It looked exactly like my drawing. My message to you today is, when in doubt, keep taking that inspired action and surrender to the trust of the universe, because you are so much more magical than you think, and you create your reality through your imagination. If you have found this super valuable and it sparked some ideas for you, I'd love to hear them below. And if you want me to share some of the pictures of my drawings in my shop, I'd love to share them. Let me know if you'd love to see it. Share this with a friend who is currently manifesting something and wants a little bit more faith. And if you would love to come and subscribe, I would be so honored. Hit the subscribe button below, and I will see you in the next video.